Everyone, we are Sage and June. We're two of the owners here at Enchantment Vineyards in Portales, New Mexico, and thought we would taste 3 of our wines for you today.
So we're really excited because we've never done this virtual tasting, and in times like this we want to make sure that you can go to our channel or YouTube and taste along with us. So we kind of have some of our insights as partners of the winery, as well as Smarty Pants over here has lots of good information because she just graduated from UC Davis. So we just kind of want to have some fun and taste wine with you. Some of the wines that we're going to be tasting, if you're part of our wine club members, they may be in some of your packets. So it's really cool to see what type of wine you could experience in a lot of our club memberships.
And to create a video that we can laugh at and make fun of from years around now. So should we get started with the white? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I wasn't sure if we should go sweet to dry or white, red. What do you think?
I don't know, and that's one of the all-time greatest debates, is whether or not how you should taste wine and in what order you should taste. But I'm kind of thinking we should start with the Ivory.
And then go Syrah and save the sweet for last?
And then go Syrah and save the sweet.
Okay,
sounds good.
Let's do it.
So Ivory Desert, this is one of our medal winners from Finger Lakes International Competition. And this is probably my go-to wine for a crowd. This is the crowd pleaser that everybody enjoys, whether you're a sweet drinker, a dry drinker. It's a lot of Pinot Grigio. It's really mellow, beautiful, pleasing on the palate.
I call it my favorite back porch sipping wine, to just put it simply. I really enjoy that because I feel like anyone that you have at your home, if they like sweet or dry, us in New Mexico, we're experiencing some beautiful weather right now. So I hope that you will check out Ivory Desert.
So what do you think on the clarity? I would say this is a nice straw color, definitely crystal clear. May have just a hint of some tartaric acid in there, which is terrific.
Can you explain what tartaric acid is? Because a lot of people see that and they go, oh, there's acid in wine. So can you please explain that?
So it's just a byproduct that you can get in white wine. And it can float to the bottom and it can make these crystals, and it's perfectly acceptable. You'll see it even a lot in high-end wines.
But so I really like that it smells clean and crisp, almost like fresh cut grass, which sounds weird, but it has a lot of clean crispness to me. What about you?
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of fresh fruit straight on the nose. Maybe even some citrus fruit, like some tangerine, some bright orange, very crisp. And when you're tasting your wine, don't be shy. Get your nose all the way in the glass. Go big or go home.
So one time, as a family, we all went out to Napa and Sonoma, and this is when we were really green. And I would still say we're in the green category. So for those of you who don't want to follow wine snobs, follow us because we're still learning. But what we learned is if you want to really smell wine, smell it at the bottom of the glass and get your nose really into it, because you can really smell the wine instead of smelling at the top. You can smell toward the bottom, and that really helps kind of get the full aromas.
And I had a wine instructor who was so much fun, and he said he liked to smell his wine in the sign of a cross. He would do the up, down, and then the left and right, and so he would really get the full extent of the aroma in the glass, which was unique, but I thought, so clever. What do you think when you taste it? How's it change? It's got a longer finish than what I expected.
It does change, and I almost, as it finishes, I feel a little bit more of that burn or bite, if you will, down in my chest, or sometimes you can tell it right up front. I believe it's 12.5. Yeah, 12.5.
Yeah, and so when we talk about finish, all we're talking about is the lingering of the wine. You know, what happens after you drink it? After you drink it and then you take that breath, how long does it stick with you? Where do you feel it on your palate? This one, you're definitely getting the acidity, but it's not like make you pucker kind of acidity. I think it's just super mellow.
So cheers to Ivory Desert. If you enjoy something that is not too dry, not too sweet, I really say this hits right down the middle, as I like to deem it my favorite back porch sipping wine. So we are gonna go ahead and move on to Syrah. This is probably one of my favorite reds that we make, is the 2018 Syrah. It has not been sent off to any competitions as of yet, but I say that I deem this to be a potential winner in the future.
It's my all-time favorite. Right now, the two that I think I'm drinking the most of are definitely the Syrah and the Merlot.
Yep, so let's go ahead and pour this.
You know, here recently, I had a friend ask what my favorite was of all the wines, and Cassidy and I both said it's like trying to choose between your children. It's really hard to narrow it down. Super deep on the color. This one, a little winemaker insight, is that it has not been filtered, which is a lot of fun. Kind of an old school technique that really gives you a lot of extra flavor from what's left over after the winemaking process. You know, you go through a basic filter and that's it.
So you probably can't see in our glass, but I would deem this as having nice legs, if you will.
Yeah, and just very, very dark crimson color. It's got like a tinge of a lighter color right around the water line. This one did see some oak.
So when someone says nice legs, that doesn't mean that I have good looking legs, since you can see them in jeans underneath the table. But what that means is basically when the wine is running off the glass, the closer the legs are, the higher the alcohol content. So kind of a neat trick of the trade that we've kind of learned throughout this. I feel like the color is really rich and deep in color. I personally love dry wine, so this is going to really tap into people who enjoy dry wine. I'd like to take a moment. What is dry wine? Like, people ask me, what is dry wine?
The absence of sweet. So I think dry can mean different things for different people. But for me, dry wine means that there's no residual sugar or added sugar. And in the winemaking process, you can either add sugar on the back end after you're done completing the wine, or you can stop the fermentation process and leave some sugar there in the wine. But this one is completely dry. So all of that sugar has been converted to alcohol process. And it's 13.5% alcohol. So it is a little bit higher alcohol, which a big, bold red can hold up to. And it really helps give it a nice finish.
I had one customer tell me, is dry wine the one that kind of makes you pucker? And I went, yeah. In a lot of regards, it's the one that makes you pucker. So you'll find out as we start explaining wine, I probably explain things a little bit more comical and really simply. And Smarty Pants over here is going to be a little bit more of the science behind it, which is really nice about getting both edge.
And then we both just like to drink the wine. That's the most important part. So what kind of smells are you getting?
I smell a lot of boldness as far as like deep currant, maybe a little bit of pepper.
Blackberry jam.
Blackberry jam's a good one.
A lot of spice. Really almost like a Cab Sav with a lot of spice without that green note. Missing the green note
Definitely
of the Cab Sav, which
spicy.
I like. I'm not a big Pyrzine.
I like this Syrah is going to get better with age too. So this is a bottle that if you want to lay it down for a couple years, it should still be good to go. And I like to pair Syrah with red meat or teriyaki options, or even like a simple meatloaf.
And this one has something almost floral in the finish. It's got a really, really pretty nose.
I just love the Syrah. I have to admit, like, to me it's just so smooth. It, like, I muddle all those flavors. I can drink it by itself. I feel like it's going to be enhanced with certain foods. I just absolutely love the Syrah. So Syrah is something that I personally wasn't a big fan of as I started drinking wines. I was definitely that like Cab person. If someone were to ask me, what's your favorite red wine? Cabernet Sauvignon. But I love the Syrah. So if you are a Cab drinker, please give this a shot. I think that you'll be really surprised. And I challenge you to try more wines just to open up your palate and explore new things. I think that's the fun part of being part of a club member and exploring what wine can offer.
Yeah, and I personally am traditionally not a Syrah fan. It's not one that I gravitate towards whenever I'm drinking in a restaurant or picking out a wine, because it can be too bold for me. I lean kind of more mid-palate tannins. I like kind of the medium tannins. I like things to be a little more refined. And Syrah can traditionally be big, bold, in your face, full pepper flavor, you know, kind of ultra spicy. But this one, I think, is much more mellow and has softer tannins.
If you have any specific questions, please message us below, send us an email, check us out on Facebook. We want to hear from you on Facebook, Instagram. Also, you can go to enchantmentvineyards.com to explore all of the wines that we have to offer. But we really want to hear your feedback, and as we keep trying these virtual tastings, what you're enjoying about the videos, what you'd like to see different. So
we want to hear what you smell and taste within the wine. I think that's so much fun, in that olfactory senses are different completely for everyone. So what I smell is going to be totally different than what you smell and some of our customers. And we want to know what you're getting, what kind of aromas off the wine and trade notes. And we're total novices who just love to drink wine, so we can't wait to learn more as well. So last one on the list is our Rising Red. And this one's probably, I would say it's the most sweet, if anything that we have. It's a red blend, lots of residual sugar.
If we have customers who come in and, they just are starting to drink wine, it's really common. We hear a lot of people, I love Moscato. And I'm like, if you love Moscato, you're going to love Rising Red. So it's kind of the red version of a Moscato, if you will. So I'd like to talk about the differences. You want to start with the color and the clarity?
This one, and you can tell a huge difference whenever we put it
just
right
compare
next to the Syrah
Syrah
in terms of color. Definitely more medium-bodied, kind of lighter to medium-bodied on the red side, whereas you've got the big, bold Syrah. Really pretty, very
almost transparent in color. Like you can see the bottom of the glass, no problem.
Clear,
with this
crystal ruby kind of color.
Mm-hmm.
Super shout out to June. She's part of the organizational genius behind all the labels, and I think this one is one of my favorite labels in terms of New Mexico and the hot air balloons. I mean, it's just completely symbiotic. So New Mexico to have the hot air balloons.
Definitely where we are. As you continue to watch the videos, we'll kind of go in about also a little bit of our thought process behind the labels, our logo, all that stuff. We want you guys to understand Enchantment Vineyards. But talking about the Rising Red,
Bright strawberry.
very heavy on the fruit, very fruity. I almost
apricot.
even smell like a little bit of cotton candy.
Ooh, that's a good descriptor.
Is strawberry cotton candy a thing? Because I think it should be in this glass if we just deemed anything strawberry cotton candy.
I think so. And it almost has a little bit of that funkiness, the kind of earthiness, which is surprising to me, especially for a sweeter wine.
Yeah, and I will say if port is something that you like and enjoy, which will be coming up in one of the videos, try Rising Red. It's not as sweet as a port, but it's just something that you may enjoy with strawberry cheesecake.
So really light-bodied, short finish. If you are a sweet tea drinker, this is your wine for sure. You will get a lot of people. We're kind of on the eastern side of New Mexico, right next to the Texas border, and we're in a traditionally sweet drinking country, and this is probably a go-to for, I would say, a vast majority of our customers, and perfect for the summer. And now, we break all the rules, and this one we like to serve chilled. I think it's absolutely fabulous chilled, more like a white.
I agree. I like a sweet wine chilled, especially a red. I have to admit, I'm not personally a sweet wine drinker, but I really enjoy our Rising Red, and I just think it's a really nice, this would be more of a dessert wine for me, but I know just from talking to a lot of different people, if, like I said, they love Moscato, we may say, hey, try Rising Red, and let's start in that red category and kind of branch you out of the box a little bit and start trying different wines that you may have never tasted before.
And so our go-to dessert whenever we have friends over is to do a wine float, and this is the one we use. It is so good with vanilla ice cream and a little bit of like a lime seltzer. Is fantastic. So everyone, cheers to the good life. Thanks for tuning in to Two Crazy Sisters.
Thank you for watching our very first ever YouTube video. So we hope to keep bringing you more videos about our wines. So keep in mind, we are Sage and June, two sisters in business. We are part of Enchantment Vineyards. And we hope that you follow us, and we want to hear your message and comments below. So please reach out. Feedback is really important to us. We want to grow, we want to be better. We just want to challenge our entrepreneur spirits and our wine sense, if you will.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.